Welcome back to the RusnKaz show, where the world's on fire and we're the only ones handing out marshmallows, yo. If 2026 were a reality show, the producers would have fired half the cast by now. And guess what? Hired Marco Rubio as the guy who actually read the script.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, booyakasha. Oh yeah, Marco Rubio did an outstanding speech out in Munich. Oh my goodness. Oh man. And the Democrats sent their best soldiers, AOC.
This is such a
Gavin Newsom, baby. Woo.
Is doubling down on stupid.
And governor who said that global affairs were out of her depth of knowledge in her brain.
I am the governor of Michigan.
Like, literally, AOC was just a 20-second delay. And then after for 20 seconds, she couldn't even elaborate on her us or say what she wants to say. I call it Kamala Harris 2.0.
You know, I think that this is such a, I think that this is a,
And she needs to probably read Kamala Harris notes. And this next segment is brought to you by...
This has been sponsored by Forgotten Roads.
We're going to Mars. Madam, we still don't have Wi-Fi in rural towns.
Mars first, potholes later.
Folks. All right, folks. Quick roadmap for tonight. Since I was a little bit out because of my ankle and my knee, seeing rheumatologists, doctors, and all whatnot, so I was a little bit out for the beginning of the year. But for the quick roadmap of tonight, the Munich meltdown that made Democrats look like they forgot their passports, Rubio's speech that stole the spotlight, the Minnesota fraud saga that keeps getting uglier, boiling point in Iran, like we gotta know what's going on in Iran, and I'll update you on Minnesota fraud with the Somalis and what the hell is going on over there, as well as what is happening in Ukraine and what happened with that tariff bombshell with the Supreme Court that came out with a decision of 6-3. I'll be definitely covering all that. There is a little show, but I miss you all, so thank you for joining me once again. Hit that subscribe button, notification button, and comment below. Let me know what's the craziest thing this year in 2026 that has come around your table and your family. Anything new? What's going on? Let me know in the comments, because I read them. I'm very interested to know.
This is the RusnKaz show. Bam Bam calling shots like a maestro. This is the RusnKaz show, where the wild and the crazy grow. Turn it up, feel the rhythm flow. Hustle pop, bam bam, let's go, let's go.
You ever watch someone try to answer a question, realize they left their homework in another country? Well, baby, that was Munich. AOC stalled when asked about defending Taiwan, became a viral moment. Critics called a sign she wasn't ready for high-pressure foreign policy grilling.
All of you, and Congressman, I'll start with you, would and should the U.S. actually commit U.S. troops to defend Taiwan if China were to move?
I think that this is such a, I think that this is a, this is of course a very long-standing policy of the United States, and I think what we are hoping for is that we want to make sure that we never get to that point, and we want to make sure that we are moving in all of our economic research and our global positions to avoid any such confrontation and for that question to even arise.
Gavin Newsom, on the other hand, pushed a message about allies and hope, but drew sharp pushback and was labeled by opponents as unsteady on the world stage. The Democratic bench isn't prepared for global scrutiny. And what about our boy Marco Rubio?
For we in America have no interest in being polite and orderly caretakers of the West's managed decline.
Ooh, while some politicians were searching for answers, Secretary of State Marco Rubio walked in with a speech and a plan.
It was this continent that produced the genius of Mozart and Beethoven, of Dante and Shakespeare, of Michelangelo and Da Vinci, of the Beatles and the Rolling Stones.
Rubio's Munich address emphasized stronger alliances, supply chain resilience, and a confident Western posture, not to fall down and apologize for being politically incorrect at times, but double down on your heritage, on your traditions. The speech drew broad praise from conservative leaders and all abroad, and was widely covered as a defining moment for the administration's foreign policy, baby. From Rubio's speech about revitalizing alliances, that's the kind of line that gets applause and policy memos, yo.
Our great Midwestern heartland was built by German farmers and craftsmen who transformed empty plains into a global agricultural powerhouse. And by the way, dramatically upgraded the quality of American beer.
So this is what totally blows my mind, yo. They send, the Democratic Party send their leaders, AOC, Gavin Newsom, Hillary Clinton, and this governor from Michigan, I believe. She's a Democrat. And what was she asked by the Europeans? It's just absurd how they answer. Let me walk you through this. Governor of Michigan. Here we go.
Our governor, is the United States stronger or weaker on the world stage than it was 5 years ago?
I think in the last 14 months, we've actually done a lot of damage, unfortunately, with regard to the ever-changing tariff landscape and some of the rhetoric, frankly. I am the governor of Michigan. We are intertwined with Canada. Our economies are absolutely intertwined, and I can tell you that.
So here I'll show you the same governor that in the beginning of their talks start talking shit about Donald Trump's policies and how bad the economy has been for the last 14 months. And what does she say after almost at the end of her conference? Let's take a look, guys.
On Ukraine, what does victory look like?
Ambassador.
No, please. I'd love to hear your answer.
It is. The two that I am on the panel with are much more steeped in foreign policy than a governor is. But I do think that.
The two individuals that I'm on the panel with, they're a little bit more qualified than me to talk about global policies or global issues. What did you say in the beginning? That Donald Trump's policies, what did they do to the global world order?
I think in the last 14 months, we've actually done a lot of damage, unfortunately, with regard to the ever-changing tariff landscape and some of the rhetoric.
Or how did they affect, and what effects did they have on the international stage? And you had the guts and the persuasive language to say that, oh yeah, his policies were bad, tariffs were really bad, everybody hated them, and the country went the other direction. Instead of you praising what Donald Trump has done for this country, close the border, the economy is up. Unlike Joe Biden, the worst president that we've ever had, that's a fact now. After looking at all the policies and all the failures, oh my goodness, I almost lost my voice. And this governor, Gretchen Whitmer, has the audacity to come on the stage and complain about the United States of America, the greatest nation in the world, about Donald Trump's policies. And then what does she say? She points at AOC and says that she is much better suited about foreign policies. And we already went over AOC. If Taiwan gets invaded, what should the US do? I'm not really sure. Hopefully, I'll tell all my Democratic friends to say, China, don't invade Taiwan. Don't. Economically and other fiscally like? Is that a word? I think so. And then AOC, after a couple of days resting, looking at scrolling through her TikTok, Instagram, and seeing that she's got so many bad negative comments saying that she missed it. She doesn't know foreign affairs. She cannot stand on the global stage, and she gets all emotional and gets another interview after a couple of days and says, oh yeah, you guys think Marco Rubio is so good and he gave such a speech. Well, he doesn't even know where cowboys came from. He thinks horses came from Spain. She says, well, I think Mexicans and native Africans that's been here from long time ago, they've got something to say about that. And she argued that Marco Rubio was wrong about Spain. She said that, man, Mexicans already had horses. They were the cowboys. Let me play this clip real quick.
My favorite part was when he said that American cowboys came from Spain.
It looks like.
I thought they came
And
from
I
Winnetou, but
I believe the
they all
Mexicans
laugh.
and descendants of African enslaved peoples would like to have a word.
So I'm not really sure why the Democratic Party, sent out their loyal soldiers, AOC, Gavin Newsom, and the Michigan Democratic governor. But, that's probably their freaking best howitzers that they've got to shoot from. I mean, if you ain't got better technology or better weapons, you ain't got it. You only send what you have, apparently. And I guess maybe they thought that they were most qualified and most educated about foreign policy. Because that's what it is. The Munich Security Conference, yeah. It's all about foreign affairs and foreign policy. And I guess that's how they're representing the United States of America when it comes to the Democratic Party. That's how they represent, and that's how they view things, and that's how they see things. Oh my goodness. Let's just verify with Gemini or Grok or ChatGPT. What's the fastest here that I can pull up real quick? Let's just verify this, guys. Maybe she's correct. And Marco Rubio is wrong. I really want to know. Recording. I went on to Gemini and I typed in, where did cowboys come from and how did United States of America obtain horses? And guess what the answer is? Is AOC right, or is Mr. Secretary of State is correct? And to our amazement, cowboys came from somewhere, but Spanish settlers arrived in the 1500s and they brought a medieval style of cattle ranching to Mexico. So AOC, Miss AOC, Spanish and Spain brought horses to Mexico. Well, believe it or not, the horse is actually a native to North America, but they went extinct in the continent about 10,000 years ago. I believe there was like an ice age. And reintroduction to horses happened in 1519 when Spanish conquistadors brought the first European horses back to America. So, Miss AOC, you were wrong. And Mr. Secretary of State was on point because he did his due diligence, he did his homework, and he wasn't just blabbing his mouth without studying or getting his speech prepared or his answers ready. Unlike most of the Democrats, it seems like anytime they're asked a question, they're always like, they're in front of the headlights on a highway. I don't know. You're a representative and you're going to a conference about global affairs. Of course you're going to be asked about those things. And you're the representative of the Democratic Party. How embarrassing. Just completely embarrassing. I can't believe they even sent those people. They're just lowest of the low, socialists, communists, and can't even represent their own country. They gotta bash their own country, talk crap about it, but still want to live in it. It's just insane to me. From the state capitol to federal courtrooms, Minnesota's fraud story kept getting bigger this year. The Treasury announced targeted investigations, geographic reporting orders, and a task force to trace suspected laundering and recover funds tied to pandemic-era program fraud. Officials signaled aggressive enforcement and audits. State leaders demanded federal help, while critics argued the scale of fraud exposed oversight failures and prompted calls for accountability. Paperwork that apparently moonlights as a money-making scheme. Iran in 2026 is a pressure cooker with lid rattling, and it's rattling hard. Talks between U.S. envoys and Iranian negotiators showed limited progress. Tehran rejected zero enrichment demands and pushed for economic relief in exchange for concessions. Large diaspora rallies and continued domestic crackdowns followed nationwide protests, with human rights groups warning of mass arrests and executions. Some news media outlets are saying that there was like 40,000 people killed just by the regime shooting at them, executing. They're saying that people are still allegedly getting executed by getting hung. It's insane what's going on over there. And the second,
they're already there, putting more American firepower behind President Trump's efforts to coerce Iran into a deal over its nuclear program. Here's some additional information. The USS Gerald R. Ford's planned deployment to the Mideast comes after Trump only days earlier suggested another round of talks with the...
But Donald Trump sent out another second aircraft carrier with all its destroyers and basically everything it needs to, if he's gonna go do Venezuela 2.0 in Iran. Of course, it's totally different because they've got different terrain, and the plot and everything else is just completely different. But the point being is that it'll be like Venezuela 2.0 getting Ayatollah Khamenei. Let's talk about Ukraine. 2026, it's like 4 years already. The front lines didn't take a holiday in 2026. Russia continued heavy strikes and incremental advances while Ukraine defended key regions and pressed for security guarantees in any talks. International mediation produced difficult, slow negotiations with no breakthrough whatsoever. It's a war of attrition, diplomacy, and a very bad headlines. I have family who are still in Ukraine. Also have family in Russia as well. And this war is just unbelievable. 4 years already. Brother against brother. Father against son. Son against father. It's just insane. And you can see what Donald Trump is doing. I understand America first, and I'm on the same page. But what Biden started, I think Donald Trump should put a little bit more pressure on, and right now should put on Putin, but he's so just buckled down with everything that's going on in America. I don't think he has the time or the energy to even look at Ukraine, because it's been so long. He really thought that he could actually settle that war in the first day that he actually was inaugurated, or his first day at work as the president in his second term. But as he said, turns out it's the most difficult one. So we'll see what happens, man. But we pray for Ukraine, and just, Lord, be with the people of Ukraine. I have family there. In the name of Jesus, please, Lord, just watch over them and just let this war be over already. As far as tariffs go, big legal drama, bigger economic ripple. The Supreme Court struck down the administration's sweeping tariffs in a 6-3 decision, finding the emergency power statute did not authorize broad import duties. The decision was a major check on executive tariff power. The administration signaled it would pursue alternative legal routes and announced new tariff measures in response, creating immediate market and diplomatic uncertainty. Order in the trade court. 2026 is a year of tests. Some passed, some spectacularly failed. If you want the receipts, the clips, and the receipts for the receipts, I've got them all in the media page. Hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next episode where we fact check the fact checkers, yo. We fact check the fact checkers and keep it real, keep it tight, keep it straight, and always remember that God loves you. BamBam out. And this segment is brought to you by DP. Why haven't you called me? I've been waiting, 'cause you're not sponsoring me or the show, but I'd like to go on and say that you do, 'cause I love it and we love it. Dr. Pepper with strawberries and cream, 'cause we love it and we love it. And DP, you still haven't called me, 'cause I want to represent and tell everybody how great your drink is, 'cause it's a superstar on my back. So come on, Dr. Pepper with strawberries and cream, call me so I can represent you on my show forever, G. Call me so I can represent you on my show every time I'm on air. So give me bread or something, DP, you know me. I just want to drink Dr. Pepper with strawberries and cream. As a matter of fact, what did I tell you, DP? I'm Dr. Pepper with strawberries and... No. Because we love it. Dr. Peppers with strawberries and cream, 'cause we love it and we love it, and we'd love you to sponsor the show, 'cause it's just so good, so good, so good.
Catch the wave, let your dreams ignite. In the world of business, reach new heights. Join the journey, hear the words unfold. BamBam's vision, turning stories to gold.